Sailor's a Bitcoin bull. 38,250 Bitcoins for the bull of bulls. The century sailor, smarter, faster, stronger, longer. He hits Bitcoin harder, smarter. 38,250 Bitcoins for the bull of bulls. Sailor's a Bitcoin bull. 19.3 trillion times more secure for sure. The Hornets respect the sailor Bitcoin bull.
Hello and welcome to Rekt Podcast. I am Bunchu, the Bull, alongside my esteemed colleague and co-host, Chamber. Chamber, how you doing?
Could be better.
We have a jam-packed show, the Chamber tell-all story of... Do we have a name for this yet? Do we know what we're calling it? Because I have some ideas.
Throw it out there. I want to hear some. My mind's not at 100% right now.
How about Oceans 420?
That's pretty good.
Or stolen from a classic movie of our childhood, The Sticky Bandits.
I made a couple of Sticky Bandit references, so I like that one. The Sticky Icky Bandits.
The Sticky Icky Bandits, yeah. Yes. And Oceans 420 was my original contribution.
Both are very good.
Yes. So, which one would you like to call it?
I think Oceans 420. That sounds good.
Yeah. I mean, because look, while you were victim of a robbery, they did not use the finesse that Brad Pitt and George Clooney might have. So
the gentle touch, if you will.
Yeah, yes, right. They definitely were a stoner type robbery here. So let's get right into it. So first of all, I mean, we're not going to cover much crypto here on this show.
Big crypto.
This is like VH1 behind the music, or like more like Discovery ID show. Like, yes. This is a true crime podcast today.
This is a true crime podcast today. Yeah,
so let's walk through exactly what happened. So first of all, let's go to. I mean, this is just going to be one whole long episode of Defend That Tweet, because it all started with the tweet. So 2 days ago, this is tweeted at 3:15 p.m. on the 11th. So that would be
Sunday?
That's Sunday, yes. Yeah. Just had my house robbed while visiting family for #Canadian Thanksgiving. Car, jewelry, electronics, all my cannabis in caps gone. FML, at a loss right now, and you posted a picture of all your cannabis plants gone.
Just the stumps.
Just the stumps.
Yeah.
So let's start there.
So I was visiting some family. I was about maybe 3.5 hours away. I left on Friday. Had a wonderful time, which, typically may or may not happen when I go visit family.
I was just going to say that you should have known something was off.
Something was afoot. And after this, wonderful, visit, we packed up the car Sunday morning, and literally, I think we were about 15 minutes into our trip back home, and my wife gets a text message from a neighbor that we don't have that much communication with. She got her number from another neighbor, and basically just asked the question like, "Hey, are you like home right now? Because your SUV's gone." And we were not home, obviously. So we're like, well, fuck that. My SUV's gone. So we had another neighbor in the. I have one trustworthy neighbor in the in my area who has a key to my house.
So someone's got a key to your house.
Yeah. Okay. We don't have any family close to us, so I've been at this place for just a little over 10 years now. So we do have a pretty good relationship with.
Now, this guy has been cleared as a suspect.
It's an older couple. Yeah, they're squeaky clean.
Okay.
So we had asked. My wife had called her and said, "Hey, do you mind checking the house? Because the truck's gone."
Yeah, sure. Send the old people in to get killed.
Absolutely. Well, we need to send somebody because we're think about this. You're 3 hours away.
Right.
And you're like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on? Like,
oh my God, that's got to incite such like panic.
It's the worst. So we're trying to get at least some sort of idea of, what the damage is. So we send we send the neighbor over. She unlocks the door. She kind of looks around. She's like, oh yeah.
So now this is a different neighbor than
the
called
one
you
that
originally.
Correct. Different neighbor.
Okay.
And this is still fairly early morning. This may be like 10:30-ish. So we ask her to go over. She goes in. She sees the house is ransacked. Like, it's crazy. So we tell her, get out of there. And
is she doing this while she's on the phone with you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So I said, get out of there. We'll call the cops. So I call 911. We get the cops over there. They won't go until we actually get there.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the point?
What's the point of not going until we get there?
Yeah, like you could have caught the bad guy potentially.
What they did is they did ask for the license plate number. So we got that kind of going. But
the car part.
Right.
You had your license plate number handy? I don't know my license plate number of a car that I'm not driving.
It's tricky to remember because it took me a minute.
Gosh.
I think I had some paperwork in my car that had the other license plate number. So we give them that so they can at least start the process. I call my insurance company, let them know, hey, my house is broken into. Insurance company was way better. They send something called First On Site, which is like they kind of go over there just to board up windows, kind of take care of the doors if there's anything open. So she gets there. She calls me, this lady from the insurance company. Back doors been attempted to break into. The side window in the basement attempted, but they managed to get in through the rear window that kind of leads into our TV room, that kind of thing. So she boards that up, or she closes it up, locks the door. Like there's doors and windows open, which is awful. I hate having that. Just the fact that just even one fucking spider gets in my house, I'll lose my mind. I'm like, oh my god, it's forever unclean. So they do that. We, I actually asked him, like, there's some cannabis plants in the backyard. Are they still there? And she's like, oh, I don't know what they look like, but she's like, I think they're still there. I'm like, okay, that's good. So we probably have about another hour and a half to drive now. So we're just kind of cruising through, trying not to let the kids get too riled up. My oldest kid kind of knows what's happening, just kind of calming her down, not to worry.
What was her initial reaction?
She's got her dad's kind of, robotic attitude. She was, she's like, why did somebody break into the house, kind of thing, right? Like that was her thing. Like, why would somebody do that? And I kind of said, like, hey, you know what? People, and she was kind of mad, right? How could somebody do that? Well, and I kind of told her, I said, well, people get into a spot in their life where, this is a necessity. You know what I mean? Like, they have a shitty life, therefore they have to do things that are, out of the norm to, I don't know, make ends meet or whatever, right? What have you. So basically people with shitty lives do shitty things. Mm-hmm. more or less, is what I told her. And I said, you know what, you can be mad, and obviously, you know, it's frustrating, but at the end of the day, you know, these people still have a shitty life, and we still have, you know, a good life. So they're more to be, you know, more to be pitied, right?
So the cannabis plants. Back to the cannabis plants.
Cannabis plants. So I'm under the impression that everything that I left in the backyard is still there.
Right.
I did do some.
At this point, there's no notable reason for you to think otherwise.
Well, and the lady, the first on-site lady said, yes, the plants are still in the back.
Oh.
So I'm like, great, terrific. But however, the hanging racks for the stuff that I had kind of got going the week prior, they were all gone. So maybe 30% of what I had was gone. I'm like, okay, no huge, you know, not ideal, but at least we still got the ones in the back. So sure enough, hour and a half drive. I'm crushing it. I'm driving like, I don't know, like 80 miles an hour for the American people. I think it was like 140 kilometers an hour. I'm cruising through down the highway. We finally get home, and you know, I go inside the house. I look. I mean, it's crazy. Like, it's just shit everywhere. I look at my office, like that I'm sitting in right now, and I mean, it looked like a bomb went off. You know, there's
wow.
First thing I want to look for is, you know, what I happen to bring a lot of stuff with me. So I brought my laptop, you know, some iPads, cell phones, that kind of thing. My cell phone that has my, that's not connected. It's kind of like a dead phone, but I use it for my 2FA. I brought that with me.
Oh.
So things like that. I usually bring that kind of stuff with me just in case I want to trade some stuff while I'm away, that kind of thing. So I come in and I'm looking for my hardware wallet, and I have some notebooks that I have, you know, passwords in and stuff like that. Thank goodness they're all there. So, and they're sitting out, but old iPads gone, printers. They left my monitors, which was great. A lot of my podcasting equipment was still there, which was, I'm like, holy shit! Like, but I had a nice mic just sitting there that they didn't take.
I was gonna ask you about that. So like they're like, oh, this loser, this loser's into podcasting. Leave it.
Yeah, he'll need something after this. So, you know, they go through everything. I kind of do a quick look around. Like, I look in the TV room. It's a mess. TV's still there. You know, one of the game consoles is still there. So I'm like, okay, that's all right.
So it seems kind of like sporadic at what
100% sporadic. So I go back. I kind of run back upstairs just to see where my wife and kids are. My wife's in the backyard and she's like gasping. And as I look in the back, I notice what she's noticed, and all of the pot plants are gone. I'm like, I don't know what this lady was looking at, said they were still there. We have like bushes, like we have, you know, perennial flowers along the side. I'm assuming that's probably what she looked at and confused it for cannabis plants. But all the weed was gone. So heartbroken.
I want to take a moment here.
Yeah.
I think this is the time to take this moment.
I think you're right.
I cannot help but feel that this is partially my fault. I will tell you why.
Why do you think it's your fault?
Well, Exhibit A.
See, but she's nervous that we're leaving for. We have Canadian Thanksgiving coming up this weekend.
Oh, that's this weekend already?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're leaving tomorrow for a few days, and she is well nervous that someone's going to come and steal our crops.
Wow. Has anyone ever stole your crops before?
No, but she's seen videos online of people doing it, so she just assumes that it's going to happen to us, even though my backyard's like fucking Fort Knox.
So do you have like...
Wow.
I mean, even if you're home, what's stopping anybody from coming in the middle of the night and stealing your crops?
Absolutely nothing.
So, like, do you have security?
So,
wink,
yeah.
wink.
Yeah, we got security.
Like, are you armed and dangerous?
I have. It's not like the States, man. You can't fucking shoot anybody here in Canada and get away with it. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, you can. I'm kind of envious of some of these laws in the U.S. where if somebody's breaking into your house here in Canada and like robbing you or like trying
you have to offer them a warm beverage.
You have to offer them a warm beverage, 3 pancakes at minimum.
Wow.
I mean, do not play that for your wife. Do not.
That is the roughest clip.
Do not play that for your wife. I couldn't stop thinking about it. As soon as I saw the tweet, I thought you were trolling.
I mean, I would think I was trolling too if I were you.
You sent me the tweet prior to I like as soon as you sent it out, and I was finishing up a round of golf, so I didn't see it right away. But then I did see like some reactions and stuff coming in from like the Telegram group and all that. Yep. And so I went back and I was like, wait, please tell me you're trolling. Like, please tell me you're trolling. And the reason I thought you were trolling is because you decided that the picture, first of all, to put a picture up. Second of all, second of the plants that were the focus of that whole first clip that we just heard there. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking, okay, like my first thought was, I don't know what these pot plants are supposed to look like once he's done with them. Maybe that's what they're supposed to look like. And this is like an obvious troll.
Right.
And I'm like, then I look at the replies to the tweet and I'm like, oh God, if this is a troll, he's in deep shit.
he's being a real asshole right now.
I'm like, he's digging himself a real big hole. And so obviously I then found out it wasn't, but I couldn't believe, because of that clip, like we talked about it for a good 2 minutes about how nobody could get in your backyard.
Apparently not the case.
Not the case. Fort Knox notoriously weak.
Yeah. KNOCKS.
Yeah. yes. And then so I mean, obviously the security was not beefy enough.
No, it wasn't.
So what is your reaction of hearing that clip?
It's great content.
It's so good.
That's my initial reaction.
It's so fantastic. Good. Like you cannot script something like that. So after this happened, I played that clip for my wife. And my wife is convinced that it is a listener of the show that is the perpetrator.
She is far too courteous with her confidence in the show, I think.
Well, I mean, it's just so coincidental. Like that we're talking about it. You basically publicly put out that you're going to be away for the weekend. And, crypto is not also always the best actors.
No, that is true. I guess it could be. But my guess is it's 100% somebody that's been in the neighborhood. Whether it's somebody from the neighborhood or somebody that visited somebody from the neighborhood, or maybe even just people just like, this could be going on. Like, it started getting me thinking a little bit. Like, you could technically be scouting these types of things. Obviously, in Canada, weed is legal.
Mm.
So you could really, and knowing that, mid to late October is the prime time to grab all this stuff. Like, you wouldn't want to steal pot in July. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no point to doing it. So, I mean, theoretically, you could start looking around various neighborhoods in July, in August. You know what I mean? Say, hey, this guy's growing, this guy's growing. And those are the houses that you could kind of like look at, is my guess. And from what I've found, one of the first things I noticed when I was in the backyard is there was a big set of pruning shears and some scissors that weren't mine. And that obviously tells me that the people that came were specifically coming for the plants in the backyard.
Interesting.
Now from the, I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense. Now from there, what happened is they may have noticed that I had trimmed some already and maybe decided, hey, we've already gotten, again, in my opinion, there was enough, if you're just stealing pot, there was enough there to be more than satisfied with. Mm-hmm. But these people, they probably decided.
Yeah, but they're probably either looking to sell it or,
Yeah. So
they're
there was
probably not
definitely
looking
some
to
missing.
consume it themselves, right?
Right. So there was definitely some missing from the backyard. So they probably attempted to get into the house from there. Again, they tried a couple of different ways. They finally got in kind of through the back basement window, found the pot that was drying. And I think from there, they were in the house. They're like, fuck it, let's take a look around. They found spare sets of keys for my other vehicle, spare sets of keys for the car I'm driving currently. And then they just went to town. They apparently shut all the blinds and then took their... I don't know how much time they would have been in the house, but my guess is probably like 20 to 30 minutes in the house, which gives you a ton of time. Say if there's two people, gives you a ton of time to just really go through everything. They went through all my wife's jewelry. All my watches are gone. All my wife's jewelry is gone, like stuff that I've gotten her, over the years, antique stuff that she got from her grandparents and parents. They stole iPads that were left here. My daughter's my daughter's backpack, like school backpack, like weird things. Some of the weird things they stole. I'll kind of go over there. They stole all the kind of things you'd think they would steal. They stole two of my guitars. They stole like all the pot. They stole my fucking weed grinder. For those of you guys who don't,
I mean, they probably got themselves some while they were, doing
and
it.
they stole. So they stole all my new weed. They stole the rest of the weed that I grew from last year. All gone. They stole my coffee, like my grinder. For those of you guys who don't smoke a ton of weed, once you do smoke a ton of weed, typically you're gonna get a coffee grinder of some sort to bust up your weed with. And I've had that for like fucking 15 years, gone. And you notice things as the days go by. You're like, oh shit, this is gone. Fuck, add that to the list. So we're in the process of insurance stuff and all that fun stuff. So I have a list of all the things that are gone, but some weird things that they took. They ransacked the pantry. They took all the fruit by the foot that we have. My kids love fruit by the foot. You guys have that in the US?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, yeah. So all the snacks, all the kid snacks, like goldfish, fruit by the foot. They left all the potato chips and like Doritos and stuff. Like it was weird. I'm like, if you're gonna take snacks, take the fucking good snacks, you meatheads. Bear paws, like weird things like that. They stole my daughter's markers. To me, I thought maybe some of them had kids because they didn't go too bad on my daughter's room. But they took some like high end markers that she had, like her nice coloring markers, her face masks.
That's so weird.
Yeah, like her face masks for school.
Man, if I was robbing a house, like those are not things I would take.
It's so weird. Like obviously, like yeah, like they got lots of stuff. So yeah, Sunday was a cleanup day. Monday was a cleanup day because it was a holiday in Canada on Monday, so everything was closed. I really couldn't do anything. So Tuesday, I got a locksmith for the house. They came in, changed the locks. I brought my car to the dealership to get reprogrammed, so the spare keys wouldn't work. They stole fucking. Do you have checkbooks?
Yeah.
Yeah, they stole all my checkbooks. I'm like, why the fuck do we have checkbooks for? So I had to go to the bank and cancel my checking account and set up a new one. Now I have to like resubmit all the direct deposit stuff, like to all the different things you have, that have pre-authorized payment for, your payments for your mortgage and your, there's so much shit to do. So basically they just fucking added a ton of shit. But the biggest thing they stole from me, and this one hurt the most, more than the weed, that Sunday was Game 6 of the NBA Finals. And it was at 7:30, and I got home at about 3 o'clock. So 4.5 hours after I got home, I had to get in a frame of mind to watch the Los Angeles Lakers destroy the Miami Heat for their 17th title.
Destroy. Like, hey kids, you want to see a dead body? Like, destroy.
Don't, he's already dead. So that was the biggest theft, was the joy that I could have received from watching that game. I watched it, and it was great, but I was, you can imagine what it's like.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
You are a one of the biggest Laker fans I've ever met, and it's been a long time for.
Yeah, it's 10 years. 10 years.
So that's about. So for me, that would be like the Yankees winning the World Series. The last time we won the World Series was 2009.
Yeah, but exactly the same. Yeah. So yeah, and it's been a tough year. This is not the only, not the only struggle I've had this year.
Right.
The year has been peppered with these incidences of real character building. I'll call it.
Yeah. Well, you've built quite the character here.
What content is this? It's fantastic.
So I wanted to let you go, but I'm thinking back to when you were talking about, you could scope out the joint. Have you noticed? Did you ever notice? Because I'm just thinking about how they would do that in advance, right?
Right.
What about drones?
Could, for sure, yeah. Totally.
Easily, right?
Yeah.
Like some neighborhood kid, quote unquote, is just flying a drone around the neighborhood, and X
Easily
marks the
doable.
spot on every house, right?
Yep. Easily doable. And I mean,
also, my wife then just at lunch asked me, she's like, "Oh, they must not have taken his podcast stuff." I'm like, "Honey, podcasters are lame." And,
we sure are.
and she's like, "Oh yeah," and then she's like, "Well, did they he's lucky they didn't take his." Or like they couldn't get his Bitcoin, and I was like, "Oh, they left the hardware wallet." And she goes, well, I guess that means it's probably not somebody that listens to the show."
Exactly. Like if it was somebody that listens to the show, like I got to do a better job. I think this is a precautionary tale for anybody listening. Fucking do a better job, because my hardware wallet was just sitting out like in a box. Like in the Ledger Nano box. I'm holding it right now. Like it was just right there.
It says, "Here lies Bitcoin.
Here be Bitcoins."
Yar, me treasure.
Yeah. And I mean...
Yar, my digital gold.
I have a ton of notebooks that say crypto on it.
That
you know what I mean?
Seed words here.
It's fucking... It's not that bad. It's not like seed phrases everywhere, but I mean, it's not. Thank goodness I had my 2FA, but yeah, they definitely didn't take... It wasn't a listener. Yeah.
Right. So I mean, that can't be.
They didn't take my hardware wallet. They didn't take my microphone.
Right. So, well, I mean, the microphone, I don't think the listeners knew that you would need to provide content on what happened here. So they left you the courtesy of doing that. However, if they didn't know what the crypto wallet was, and I would argue this is more of a case that it is a listener.
Maybe. It's hard to say.
Of I would say, I'm not sure we've talked much crypto in our entire time here. So maybe we have not done a good enough job explaining what a hardware wallet is.
Yeah, thankfully.
Yeah, or they just do listen to the show and know that you really don't have anything on that hardware wallet to begin with.
So they did take a bunch of flash drives that were right beside the hardware wallet. And on those flash drives is where I save all of our podcast drops and stuff like that. So I still have a bunch, and I'll have to go through. I think on Telegram, what I normally do, and I think I figured out a way around this. What I normally do is when I create a new drop, I usually send it to you right away in Telegram.
Yeah, so there's an archive.
I think I'll be able to download them and get those back.
Hot tweets is definitely in there, and the cancel culture one is in
I got hot tweets.
there.
So
Hot tweet.
hot tweets.
Hot tweet.
Hot tweets.
Hot tweets.
Hot tweets we still have.
Thank God.
Thank fucking God.
I was joking with you on the phone that one in particular would be the hardest one to recreate. A show that we both like, Detroiters. If anybody has taken our recommendation and watched Detroiters, there is an episode where they try to remake a jingle that they made in
For a grocery
sexual,
store, right?
which had a lot of sexual energy to it, much like the hot tweets, and it just doesn't go right for them the second time, and people stop listening to it and buying from that store, and I think that's what would have happened here.
I agree.
Yeah. So total potential loss here. What are we talking about? The the dollar amount, if you had to put a dollar amount on what was stolen.
I think for the items in the home, we're north of $17,000 currently. Plus the vehicle. It's pretty. it's not nothing.
Large.
Yeah, it's not nothing. Hopefully we get things sorted out with the insurance company.
Yeah, so what's that process like?
Honestly, I'm going to be honest. I haven't heard much from the... They called me yesterday. I sent him a list of the things that I had, accounted for. And I haven't heard back from him. He talked to me on the phone for like 3 minutes. I'm like, oh, okay. Send me a check. Well, it'll be good.
That's comforting.
Right. I haven't been too impressed there. But I've actually been super impressed with how nice everybody's been, like in my neighborhood and like family and stuff like that. Like people are sending us food. Like that Sunday night, like we had like 10 pizzas sent to the house, because obviously we're going a mile a minute, feed the kids. Neighbors brought over like cookies and weed and
I mean, I think that's probably, the hard that the other stuff can be replaced, and like the weed was on a year worth of blood, sweat, and tears.
It was more than a year's worth of weed.
Yeah.
So you can, I mean, I smoke enough, so it adds up.
Now, yeah, okay, finish your thought here about how nice everybody is.
I just gotta say, I just spoke to my mom who's growing some at her place, and she has a little community of boomers that are also growing, and apparently she's going to be coming down, not this weekend, but the next weekend, and hooking me up. She's like, I have like, I don't know, 12 mason jars full, so we should be all right.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah,
so you're going to...
Yeah.
You should get robbed every year.
You know what? Well, and the best part about it, I look for silver linings all the time.
Yeah.
In my home, I like to throw shit out.
See, I was gonna say the same thing. I was gonna say, I bet you got rid of a lot of unnecessary stuff.
There's gonna be a lot of like future claims down the road, like, oh, I guess that was stolen too back in October. A lot of kids' toys that are going to be stolen in the future. So it's that was the one silver line. I'm like, I have a pretty good excuse, at least for the next 6 months, to really just kind of throw shit away that I don't want anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a tragedy, though. Really,
it's pretty awful. Like not for nothing. Like I joke, but it's fucking not great. The feeling of having somebody in your house that you don't know. It's like a house molestation.
That's what we were saying on Sunday.
My house got molested.
Like the weird uncle stayed a little too long.
Yeah, exactly. It's like my kid's room had like a cigarette smell in it, and I'm like, ugh.
Oh my god!
It's that kind of like, ugh.
So what have the kids been saying since you got home?
The youngest one, nothing. Like,
right, she doesn't.
She doesn't know what's going on.
Are you sure she's not in on it?
She is the fucking
She's
questionable
keeping
one.
awfully quiet.
Yeah, she had. You know what? This is a fucking good point here. I'm gonna be asking her a few questions after this.
I'm just throwing it out there. It's always the person, according to The Office, it's always the person you most medium suspect.
She's definitely the Maggie of our family. I'm obviously the Homer. My oldest daughter is both Lisa and Bart in one, and my youngest is definitely the Maggie. So it wouldn't shock me, and it doesn't shock me that I didn't even think about it.
Well, see, it's always that's the long con, right?
That's exactly right.
You give your trust to these people, and then they write you a letter, like in what's that movie that I loved? The Nicolas Cage movie, Matchstick Men.
Matchstick Men,
Yes.
yeah. That's a good
They
movie.
write you a letter while you're standing on top of a roof, and they tell you they swindled you the whole time. That's it.
Solid movie.
So I'm curious about the vehicle. Has the vehicle been found?
It has not.
Are they looking for it? What is
They are. Because
they've got to have. I mean, the cops have to have stolen vehicle reports all the time. So there's
Right.
probably a process, right?
I don't know what the percentage is to find these things or success rate. I haven't heard anything yet. We have had some developments in the case.
Let's talk about this. Yes.
So there was, as per my wife gets into these discussions with other neighbors. I don't want to say gossip, but parallel to gossip maybe. And apparently there was a car that was parked on our street, a few houses up, possibly since Sunday night. And maybe that was the vehicle that was left. It was towed away by the cops.
It was towed away
on Monday, I think.
Interesting.
And the cops were, talking to some other neighbors about that particular.
Why would you
car.
leave a car there? God, these people are not smart.
Well, apparently, it was. I didn't see it myself, but from what my wife was telling me, it's like one of those cars that has two different color doors, duct tape on the bumper, that kind of stuff.
So it's likely not registered to the person.
It was stolen. Pardon me, I forgot to mention that part.
Okay, because that's
stolen car.
Okay, that's the
Reported stolen.
That's the important part, because otherwise, if somebody's leaving their own car there,
so stolen car. Again, my thought is they went in looking to grab the weed. They park, a couple 100 feet away from the house. They can get the weed and bring it back to that car. You know what I mean? And away we go. But because they broke into the house, they found spare keys for a better car. You know what I mean? Like, let's just upgrade. Is I think what happened.
Interesting. So my dad has had 2 cars stolen from him in his life.
Oh, really?
Both were found.
Interesting.
Yes. So I feel like the success rate of finding stolen cars is pretty, I would say pretty good, in my opinion. But it just depends if they could still be driving it. But they'd be really dumb to be driving it now. Like,
You would think so.
right? You'd have to ditch that thing pretty quickly. Which is why, why wouldn't they just have one of them drive the one car, one of them drive the other, ditch your car, and then, be on their merry way.
Which could mean there was only one person. Which seems like a lot, but...
Interesting.
There was 2 sets of scissors outside, so that's why I thought there was 2 people.
Maybe maybe it's Edward Scissorhands. And he's got the
That's a good point. While I was getting my car keys reprogrammed at the dealership yesterday, my wife called me. She said her PayPal was used to the tune of about $300 at Sephora, which wasn't
PayPal.
Yeah.
Does she have a PayPal debit card?
No,
I have one of those.
one of her credit cards is linked to PayPal.
Interesting.
So, so she called me immediately. I was at the dealership, and I call MasterCard. She was calling PayPal and Sephora, and the confirmation email she got for the purchase, the billing addresses are as her name, the shipping address, her name, a new address, not too far from my house.
Oh, come on. That's a key. That's a key detail.
Right.
Did you go to the cops with this?
I've sent this information to the police. I'm waiting to hear back. I, in my, in my
Infinite wisdom?
infinite hubris, I would say, decided to take it upon myself and do a drive-by of this house.
Oh, you did? Yes, this is
see me
juicy.
rolling.
These are details I did not know.
So I drive by this house.
Tell
and
me
it's
your car's parked in the driveway.
No. I drive by. It's a duplex. It doesn't look. I don't know. It looks like maybe. I don't know. I don't know what to think. There's nothing in the driveway. The yard's kind of kept pretty well, I would say. But there was nothing really sticking out. I was looking around, didn't really see much. They had a yard sign in the front, like, you know what I mean, like a Biden. It wasn't a Biden, whatever Harris one, but that kind of thing. And it was just like it was kind of like Canada Strong or something like that. I forget what it was, but basically saying like, hey, yeah, we're in this together. Which I thought was a weird thing, like something like an older couple would have in their yard. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know what that means. But the address could be a billion different things. Could be somebody is sending it to a friend's house. Obviously, there's you can get information from those people anyways. It doesn't necessarily mean it's the person that broke into my house, but maybe somebody that they know. So that's where I'm currently at. And the other thing is last night, after I got all the locks
How many more
done,
times are you going to drive by that house?
and my wife went today. She had to go to a doctor's appointment, and
Yes.
she had mentioned that she had driven by. But last night, about 1 o'clock, we're about to hit the sack, and my wife kind of wakes me up. She's like, the interior light of our car is on.
What?
I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I just got everything like the dealership like wiped out all the other keys, and so I run out and like nobody's there. And I'm like, fuck, it could just be like, I mean, they just did reprogram it. Maybe something's, you know what I mean? Maybe something's fucky with it didn't unlock, but the interior light came on and then went off. And then so now I can't fucking sleep. So I basically put everybody to bed. The two girls went to sleep with my wife.
And you Clint Eastwooded it out on the front
fucking
step.
just Clint Eastwooded like a motherfucker. And I think till about 6:45 this morning. Just stared out the window, just waiting. Just waiting for something. Nothing happened.
Man.
I went outside a couple of times. I surveyed the perimeter. I don't know. So I called the dealership again today. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how is that possible? They assured me that no, it's fine. Even if somebody did get in, they couldn't start the car because your key is, it's the only one that will be able to. So because I had to order another key to replace the other one. So,
Man.
I'm running on fucking fumes right now. Like,
Man, oh man.
I slept for about an hour this morning, from about 6:45 to about 7:45.
So since this person that robbed your house is definitely a listener, what do you have to say to them?
Come on, man! You're killing me, Smalls. I don't know. Just don't. I'm sorry your life is shit, I guess. That's what I have to say.
I mean, I think that's a good message, right? Like, that person's life is shit.
Yeah, that's
that
what I
they
told
have
the
to
girls,
go rob somebody else. And, the blessing is you guys weren't around and nothing got out of hand from a violent standpoint.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, if you're going to get robbed, I'd rather not be home.
I mean, I think it's tomorrow I have security people coming in to secure the house with cameras. And
are you going to put a moat?
It's close. If they sell me on the moat back.
If they upsell you the moat, you're taking it?
I might bite. But it's crazy. So it's my wife and I's anniversary this Friday. Like, it's just
my God.
Just so much shit. But yeah, it's it's not fun. I don't recommend getting robbed. There's a lot of shit you have to do afterwards. I had to call like all the credit bureaus.
I mean, look, that's probably the worst part, right? Like, the stuff is stuff, but they just made so much work for you. Like, and you and I feel like are of the same ilk. I'm kind of lazy for the most part, like when it comes
extra
to
work.
Yeah, right, exactly. When it comes to shit that like I shouldn't be doing, I feel like that's probably one of the worst parts. I
agree. It is. It is one of the worst parts. But yeah, so that's basically. I think that's it. As far as updates go.
Are we expecting like? I'm just fascinated of the police work here. Like, I feel like they're not doing enough.
I've given them a lot of information. I had one of the detectives. I don't know, like to get the crime scene guys that come in.
Yeah.
We dusted a print.
Ooh, you dusted a print?
We got a good print.
Oh my God. This
on
is
the window.
Literally like CSI.
It was.
There you go.
And the guy's
CSI.
phone rang. The guy's phone rang while in my house. And I look over at my daughter. I'm like, stop, I'm like, don't watch Unsolved. I said, don't turn that off. Don't watch Unsolved Mysteries. And the guy looks at me and he's like, sorry, that was my phone. And I'm like, that's amazing. The crime scene guy cell phone ring is the Unsolved Mystery theme song. I thought my daughter was watching it without my permission.
CSI.
Oh, amazing.
There you go. That's the third one. We've got Oceans 420, the Sticky Icky Bandits, and CSI.
Yeah. So it's it was an interesting. They have a lot of. I feel like they had a lot of stuff to go on.
Look, they dusted a print.
Can't they pull? I don't know, like traffic cam.
In any real crime scene, there's always semen.
I mean, there was semen in the house, but everywhere.
It was just covered head to toe.
It's more really centered in my office.
I don't know where this came from.
Don't worry,
sir.
Why are you
putting me in handcuffs? I don't understand.
This is a criminal.
This is pretty clear. This was an inside job. Your semen is everywhere.
Sir. I thought you said you were 37. This is a teenager amount of semen.
This is a search history of a much younger man.
So I told him to stay out of this room. Concentrate everywhere else. It'll be fine.
Oh man. Well, look, I feel like we've been going for 50 minutes on just making great content out of your pain and suffering. So I feel like, you might need a break.
You were so nice, too. I said before the show, we were chatting about doing a show either today or tomorrow. And I said, you want to just interview me about what happened? And you're like, I don't want to, like you said, I don't want to rub salt on the wound, or I don't want to.
Well, because me, if you give me the green light, I'm going for 100%. It,
I'm not shy. I'm not shy of the spotlight. So I really appreciate the fact that you didn't want to, overstep and wanted my express written consent.
Yes, exactly. So I mean, that. Look, and if there's anything that I can do, or our crypto family can do to make your life easier, I'm sure.
Everybody on Twitter was super nice. I was waiting for the follower pump. to equate the new house pump.
I was just gonna say, so we now know just from a straight up test of social interaction that people are more inclined to like, share, retweet if you buy a new house,
correct,
than having your house robbed.
Right, a lot of opinions when you get your house robbed.
What was the biggest opinion you got?
I thought some of the funniest ones were like, you gotta check your boys, man. You gotta tighten up your circle. I'm like, bruh.
Oh wait, hold on. I'm going through this.
My circle is 0. I have 0 bros in my circle.
Hold on, let's go through these really quickly before we wrap up here, because now I gotta see it. I want to see who tells you. Check your circle.
A lot of that.
Okay, so the first reply is from Not So Fast, which was the apt reply. What the fuck? You were just talking about getting your plans stolen.
Is Not So Fast listening to the show, by the way? And thank you for listening.
That's what it sounds like. Hey, look, we love you, Not So Fast. We hope you are listening, because look, that's the only way he would have known.
Say that on Twitter, right?
No, that's the only way he would have known, is if somebody listens.
Shout out Not So Fast. Thanks, man.
Yeah, then he says, bro, also, get that police report in right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be forced to help you if it's because of your car. Our friend Crypto at Night says, seriously, real life? And you said real life. And that's where I was like, fuck. Yeah. that's where I was like, this is really rough. Yeah. Let's see. Then he says, let me know if I can help in any way. He's a good dude. One of the best. Cash, she's pissed off for you. I want to see who tells you to check your.
There was a few of them that were like check your boys, check your. I laughed. Like, I don't have any, but it was there was definitely some love out there. People were real nice and were upset for me.
John Nelson suggests that you invest in both an alarm system and a very protective pet dog.
I'll get one of those things.
Then he goes into what kind of dog you should get.
What does he say?
You're welcome. Having a medium-sized to large dog will cut your chances of being burgled in half. Thieves will see it inside your home, barking, snarling at them, and they'll move on to the next house, which does not have a dog. Add an alarm system, and you'll be much better off. I mean, that's great dog analysis.
I mean, wouldn't you bring your dog with you if you were going?
Well, you just
I'm not
because
a dog owner, so I don't know how it works.
Well, just because you were at a family Thanksgiving does not mean you were staying overnight. So it could have been a day trip.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm definitely getting the security system though, full on. Top of the line.
Someone here says inside job. You responded with probably. Oh, here you go. Inside job for this is from at hashtag P519. Inside job for sure. Tighten that circle, G. Been there. Feel your pain. You responded, I don't have a circle.
It's true.
Why? Oh my God. Why though?
Yeah.
Why though responded with, oh my God, they just dunked on you.
I know. It's all right.
They said, we'll send our head of security, Ralph, to investigate, and then posted the picture of the guy with no arms holding a gun in his front pocket. Man. A lot of people offering to share your crops.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how they're going to get them to me.
I don't know. You got a pretty good engagement here, I would say.
Yeah, it was all right. I just don't know how you're going to be getting any pot to me because I'm not getting out.
Hashtag Rekt.
Yeah, a lot of Reks, a lot of hashtag Reks.
Marco Peerboom decided that he was going to take that opportunity to make fun of me. Man, that fucking blows. Was it because you associate with one of those psychotic Chili Peppers fans because of an interaction we had earlier in the weekend where I said that I liked the Red Hot Chili Peppers, so he decided to make fun of me?
Oh, I thought that was a shot at me because I was saying something not that long ago about the Chili Peppers.
Nope, definitely a shot at me.
Oh, good. All right. I'll take it.
Definitely a shot.
Chili peppers are good too. Who doesn't like the chili peppers?
Yep. Let's see. Any more? Need a coin? Fucking twats. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Yeah. SoCal replied to you like he probably lost all respect for you for this.
No, he was very nice. He sent me a nice private message. It was very nice.
I'm surprised that he has any respect for you. This guy would probably just kill. He probably.
I told him to send me some of that American.
Arsenal. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like, bro, you let your house be burgled. That is a sign of weakness. Let's see. Any other good ones here? Wow, you got a lot here. Lots of love for you, Chamber.
Yeah, surprisingly.
Your wife came in and thanked everybody. Oh man, look at all the love for Chamber. You know, you're just look what happens. People are rallying around you here.
Like there was a lady on my street that brought me cookies. They were the best fucking cookies I've ever had, and I almost fucking cried when she brought them to me. I love cookies so much, and these ones were so delicious.
Oh,
I just thought it was very sweet of her that she brought me over cookies.
Of course, and I think that's a good place to leave it. So maybe we'll get some more updates in the next
I'll keep
next week.
You got the full story. From here on out, only updates.
Yeah, the highlights.
Yeah.
I need like real time updates on driving by this person's house, all this stuff. I mean, like stuff like that. You could probably figure out where that transaction came from, like all that kind of stuff.
Right. Oh yeah, totally.
The location of that. Oh man, they don't know that you're a crypto nerd. Like we could put our best people on this.
We have people for this.
I know. I mean, we could put our best people on this.
Yeah.
So, anyway, all right. Any parting words, Chamber, before we wrap this bad boy up?
I would recommend, if you have the means, to get yourselves a home security system. I would recommend to lock your doors at all times. Reinforce your windows. I'm doing all these things now, and I was very laissez-faire about this prior to. Don't wait until it happens to you. Just go out and get yourself some additional security for when you're not at home. I think 90% of the time, this will happen to you when you're not at home, as opposed to if you are home. So when you're not home, you know what? Give your local. I don't know if you're in the States, a sheriff's department call. I don't know. Is it sheriff's department? Who's your local police?
Yeah.
Whoever, call your local police. And let them know, hey, I'm going to be out of town for a couple of days. They'll do drive-bys for you when you're not there, depending what kind of town you live in. Big city, maybe not the case, but if you live in a medium to small-sized town, let them know. Let them know that you're not going to be there. Get some additional security. Don't grow weed outside, I think is...
Is that your biggest takeaway? I'm
not growing weed outside until I move from this house.
To a gated community. Yeah.
Until I'm the shitty neighbor. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, that's how I feel. I moved into this neighborhood and I'm definitely the worst neighbor here.
You definitely want to be that. Like that's what you want to be. You want to be the worst person in your neighborhood.
Right.
Yeah. Not the person that gets robbed. You want to be the person robbing.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that. I'm not going to rob my neighbor's houses, but I mean, I might.
I mean, you never know. But
look, and if you can't afford a security system, a home alarm system, you can always take after the great Kevin McAllister and set up a fake Christmas party to go off while your burglars...
Michael Jordan cutouts, micro machines,
exactly.
Cans.
You get it. This guy gets it. Rocking around the Christmas tree or whatever song's playing. Just do that. Who cares if it's July?
I agree.
There you go.
That's what I got.
That's it. Until next time, don't get robbed. And that is financial advice.
Hey everybody, thanks for listening. You can help support us by giving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and become a Rekt patron by signing up for a monthly tier on patreon.com. That's patreon.com/Rekt podcast. Don't get wrecked.